Everyone was terrified, except one boy. A giant trained for war stood undefeated, and a shepherd walked up with a stone. Around 1000 BC, in the valley of Elah, two worlds collided. On one side, the Philistines. They were a sea people, aggressive, ambitious, and holding a critical advantage: iron. Their smiths forged weapons that could shatter the bronze swords of their rivals. From their coastal cities, they were pushing inland, aiming to control the highlands of Judah. On the other side, the kingdom of Israel. It was a new kingdom, a collection of 12 tribes only recently united under their first king, Saul. Their army was a militia of farmers and shepherds. Their weapons were a generation behind, and their position was precarious. The valley floor between them was a strategic no-man's land. The Philistines, with their chariots and heavy infantry, wouldn't risk an uphill battle. The Israelites, light infantry who knew the hills, wouldn't dare face the Philistine war machine on open ground. So they waited. And for 40 days, this stalemate was dominated by one voice. Out of the Philistine camp strode their champion, Goliath of Gath. He wasn't just a large man. He was a walking symbol of Philistine power. Over 9 feet tall, covered head to toe in custom-fitted bronze scale armor. The tip of his spear was forged from rare and expensive iron. He was a one-man siege engine, and his challenge was a classic piece of psychological warfare. Choose a man and let him come to me. If he wins, we will be your slaves. But if I win, you will be our slaves. For the Israelites, this was a nightmare. King Saul, the tallest man in their own army, was silent. His soldiers felt their courage drain away each morning as Goliath's taunts echoed across the valley. Their technological disadvantage was now embodied in a single, seemingly invincible warrior. Their God felt very far away. Into this camp of silent fear walks David. He's a teenager from the small town of Bethlehem, sent by his father to bring supplies to his older brothers on the front line. He's not a soldier. He's a musician, a poet, and a shepherd. He steps out of the quiet world of pastures and psalms and into a military crisis. And when he hears Goliath's booming voice mocking Israel and its God, he doesn't feel the fear that paralyzes everyone else. He feels a deep, burning indignation. He asks the men around him, "What will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and removes this disgrace from Israel? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" His oldest brother, Eliab, overhears and is furious. "Why have you come down here? With whom did you leave those few sheep in the wilderness? I know how conceited you are and how wicked your heart is. You came down only to watch the battle." David simply turns away. His mind is already locked on a different problem. His words ripple through the camp and reach the ears of a desperate King Saul. David is brought to the royal tent. Saul looks at the young man, strong and healthy, but still just a boy, and says, "You are not able to go out against this Philistine and fight him. You are only a young man, and he has been a warrior from his youth." This is where David gives his resume. It's not one of military training, but a faithful duty. "Your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and carried off a sheep from the flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep from its mouth. The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." Saul, with no other options, agrees. "Go, and the Lord be with you." He tries to equip David for conventional warfare, dressing him in his own royal tunic, a bronze helmet, and a coat of armor. But David can barely move. This isn't his way of fighting. He says, "I cannot go in these because I am not used to them." So he takes them off. He chooses to be himself. He walks out to the valley with the tools he trusts, his shepherd, a staff in his hand, and his sling. He stops by the stream that runs through the valley floor and carefully selects 5 smooth stones, the kind a shepherd knew would fly true. Goliath sees him coming, a boy with a stick, and he is insulted. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" he bellows. David's reply cuts through the giant's arrogance. You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." This wasn't a contest of strength, but a clash of kingdoms, a clash of gods. As Goliath lumbered forward, David didn't wait. He ran quickly toward the battle line to meet him. Reaching into his bag, he took out a stone, slung it, and struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone, propelled with the force of an expert, sank into the giant's brow. For a moment, the world stood still. Then the giant fell face first on the ground. The battle was over. The boy with no armor, the shepherd with a sling, had defeated the undefeatable champion. He proved that victory doesn't always go to the biggest or the strongest, but to the one who fights with purpose and faith. Subscribe and share.